In the vast, golden plains of Montana, where the wind carries secrets and silence can be deafening, a cruel act was about to unfold. But little did the perpetrators know. Hope was watching from the horizon. A lone figure, rugged and weathered, drove his old truck down a dusty trail. His name was Ben, and beside him sat his ever-alert dog, Buddy. The air felt heavy that day, and Buddy's sudden, sharp bark told Ben something was very wrong. Stopping the truck, Ben grabbed his rifle, just in case, and followed Buddy's lead. What they found around the bend made Ben's heart stop. A magnificent wild horse, a Mustang with a deep chestnut coat, was chained tightly to an old, disused railway track. Its eyes, wide with terror and pain, met Ben's. The animal's legs were raw and bleeding from the cruel metal. Who could do such a thing? Ben's jaw tightened with anger. He approached slowly, speaking softly. Try and calm the frightened beast. Easy there, fella. I'm here to help. With careful hands and his trusty bolt cutters, Ben began to free the horse. Each snip of the chain was met with a flinch from the Mustang, but it stood still, as if understanding the man's intent. Finally, the last chain fell away. The horse, now free, didn't run. Instead, it looked directly at Ben, a silent understanding passing between them. You're free now, Ben said gently. But if you stay out here alone, it might happen again. He extended his hand. The Mustang, exhausted and hurt, lowered its head slightly. It let Ben guide it, with Buddy's reassuring presence nearby, back to the truck and into a trailer. At Ben's ranch, the horse, now named Storm for his dark coat and fiery spirit, was placed in a corral. He was skittish, standing rigid, remembering the pain. Ben prepared a bed of hay and fresh water, but Storm ignored it. That night, Ben couldn't sleep. Memories of his son, who had also loved horses, filled his mind. The next morning, Ben offered Storm oats. Slowly, tentatively, the horse took a step forward and ate. A small smile crossed Ben's lips. You're a fighter, aren't you? I think I'll call you Storm. Days passed. Ben worked patiently, spending hours quietly near the corral. He talked, he sat, he waited. Slowly, Storm began to relax. He started eating and drinking. The trust was fragile, but it was growing. Then, Sheriff Emma Lane arrived. She had heard about the rescue. Seeing Storm's scars, her face hardened. This was an accident. Someone wanted him to suffer. She told Ben about an illegal horse racing ring that used brutal methods. Unbroken wild horses like Storm were either forced to race or discarded. Ben's blood boiled. They didn't break this one, he said firmly, watching Storm stand tall despite his ordeal. Emma placed a hand on his shoulder. If you want to help him fully, you'll need to help us stop them. That evening, Ben made a decision. He would help Emma and her team bring the criminals to justice. Storm deserved that much, and so did every other horse that suffered. The next morning, Ben rode into town to meet Emma. They had a lead on a new camp. That night, under cover of darkness, Ben and Buddy scouted the area. He saw frightened horses being loaded into trailers. A noise gave him away, but he managed to fire a flare, causing chaos. In confusion, he freed one mare before being discovered. A fight broke out. Buddy helped Ben escape as they galloped back into the stormy night. He swore he saw Storm's proud silhouette watching over the ranch. The next day, more information came. The criminals were moving fast. Ben knew the land better than anyone. He volunteered to lead a small team to a remote canyon, where they were likely holding more horses. Leaving Storm in a neighbor's care, Ben and the team rode out. They reached the canyon at night. Sneaking closer, Ben's heart sank. Dozens of horses were crammed into pens, terrified. Men with whips moved among them. They sprang into action. Ben cut through the fences. Horses thundered free into the night. Gunshots rang out. Emma's voice crackled over the radio, warning of armed men. We're not leaving until every horse is free, Ben replied. Amid the chaos, Ben spotted a familiar dark form. Storm, he whispered, disbelieving. The horse he had rescued was here. Scarred again, trembling but standing. Ben rushed to free him. As he cut the ropes, a man with a gun appeared. Time seemed to slow. Then with a fierce cry, Storm charged, saving Ben's life. By dawn, the criminals had fled. The rescued horses were safe. Storm stood beside Ben, proud and free. Emma smiled. We did it. The operation is finished. Back at the ranch, life began to settle. Storm, now fully healed and trusting, had become the heart of Ben's sanctuary for rescued horses. Children came to visit, their laughter mixing with the sound of hooves. One evening, Ben decided it was time. He saddled his old mare and led Storm to the open field. With gentle patience, he placed the saddle on Storm's back. The horse stood still. Slowly, Ben mounted. For a moment, they were frozen. Then, with a gentle nudge, Storm moved. Together, they rode across the field, a symbol of trust and triumph. Later, Emma brought news of arrests. The nightmare was over. What's next? She asked. Ben looked at Storm. We move forward. Storm stays here. We keep building. Months passed. The ranch flourished. Storm, once chained in cruelty, now galloped free, a living testament to resilience. One morning, watching Storm run under the golden sun, Ben felt a deep peace. You're free now, he said softly. Their journey, from chains to freedom, was a powerful reminder. Never lose hope. Kindness and courage can overcome even the darkest cruelty. If this story touched your heart, please share it. Let others know that compassion wins. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories that inspire, and tell us in the comments what moved you most.